mine, those are mine, okay? But I'm all with joint ventures with all these other people in Arizona, okay? And some of the other people did Mississippi, and some did Alabama, some did West Virginia, a couple of them just did South Carolina. You know, okay, so we're all doing joint ventures there. So I went to my wife, and I said, you know, it really bugged me. Why did you say no? To lend me the money. And she says, you know, there's one reason why. I've seen you in action. I've seen you sue major corporations, and you won. Major 500 companies, and you won. I've seen you sue local city governments and win. She says, if I bring the tiger out of you and get you so pissed off and so angry, that tiger will do whatever it has to do for success. Okay? And I said, okay, you're right. And so she come up to me about a year and a half ago. She says, you know, I want to tell you something. I have never met a person who has lost everything. I mean, everything. And you have only $10,000, and you make way more money than you've ever made in your life. Now. Okay? My 95% of my money is not on the education. This is the education part. 95% of my money is on the properties. That's where I'm making a ton of money. Yes?
I met Ken at the end point at the last meeting with
Linda.
And I talked to him about the problem he mentioned, and that is every time I bid, somebody would overbid me and I couldn't get a win. So I went out and did it some other way. But from talking with him, I got real clear that he knows how to get past that problem. And if I stick with him, he's going to teach me how.
Mm-hmm.
And I will stick with you. I'm working my way back to you.
Yeah. But so that's the key here, okay? So she gave me a nice boost there that I was very happy on that. Okay, so what's tax redeemable deeds? Joe learns it's a couple states that have redeemable deeds, which he understands is a hybrid between tax lien and a tax deed. Okay, an owner owns the property but has a redemption period. If the owner redeems, the investor receives the penalty. If he doesn't redeem, the investor owns full ownership. Okay, a couple states here: Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Connecticut. Anybody did Texas at all? Anybody did Tennessee at all? No tax sales? No? Okay. So why here? High rate of return, no credit checks, bank loans, secured investments banked by real estate. Bid down interest rate like you do in Arizona. Also Florida has that. Alabama has that. And Illinois does that. And New Jersey does that too. Bid up premium, California. Okay. A lot of states, Nevada does that. State of Washington does that. State of Oregon, and so on like that. Okay. Bid up premium. Whoever pays the highest amount of money will win. Deed to auctions, I always try to buy before the auction. Okay? Yes?
Each state, you're answering this question, each state specializes in different type of auctions. So do you want to go to each state for a different type of auction?
Yeah, so they're all different. So you just pick which state you believe you have a better chance you're going to win in. Okay? I'll tell you, want me to give you a big tip? You've been in LA County, you're going to lose.
Is Illinois a good state?
Illinois is a good state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay? On that, unless you buy it before the auction in LA County.
Because they have a little different foreclosure.
It's a bid down interest rate in Illinois.
They don't foreclose on properties, right?
No, they do foreclose. You foreclose after 3 years in Illinois. Okay?
After what?
3 years. But there's a way you can do it in 1 year.
Or, I mean, actually, the court procedure is different, that's what it was. Right?
Huh?
The court procedure there, is it in Illinois is different? As far as, that's another question for another time. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So remember, is like, what am I doing? I'm buying it from the government. I'm not doing it with the banks. Okay? Banks are a whole different thing. Foreclosure with banks, I don't get involved with that. I don't get involved with that at all. Only with taxes. Whole different avenue. Everybody does with banks. Short sales. Okay? Everybody does that. I do it with only taxes. Random selection like the state of Kentucky, over the counter. We did a joint venture in different states. We did that over the counter. Okay, we did that in Arizona. In over the counter, we bought, I think, about 20, 25 lanes on over the counter as a group. All right, wholesaling. We cleaned up, sold it up, quick profit, fix and flip, rehabbed it, sold with a realtor. How much time do I have left? I don't want to go over my time.
11:45?
Okay, I got 20 minutes. All right, good, thank you. Fix and flip,
11:45.
11:45, right? So it's 11:20 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got 24 minutes, okay. So, seller financing, keep the house, clean it out, sold it to another bank. Fix and flip, that's a fix and flip right there. 106 East South B Street in Gas City. 106 East South B Street in Gas City. How much did I pay? Anyone want to take a shot at it? Okay, it's worth $100,000, you fix it up. How much do you think we paid for it?
It was worth 100 after you fixed it up?
After it's fixed up, right, 100,000, after I fixed it up.
20.
15,000.
18,000.
18?
18,000, anybody else? 5?
10.
Who said 10? Yep, 10,000. Okay, $10,000. Okay? We spent about 40,000, 42,000 fixing it. So that means that I bought it for 10, 1-year redemption period in Indiana. Okay? I spent 42,000 fixing it up, some on credit cards, some on cash, and I sell it for 100. Got no mortgage.
Did you have to wait that 1 year before
Yeah.
you started working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 year over there in Indiana. Okay? So I'm making near, what? Close to 100% return on my capital, right? You buy a property for 800,000, you come up with 20% down, that's $160,000 down. Then your points, then your fees you gotta pay, then your mortgage every single month, and then your rehab. And then they'll tell you, oh yeah, we'll give you back your rehab money, but they don't tell you you've got to do some work first before you get your rehab money back. Okay? It's stages that they do it on that. So what have you done? You've got well over $200,000 or more, right? 20%, 160, plus your, not including your rehab, your points, your fees, your mortgage, 200,000. You're not making a $200,000 profit when you're doing it. You're making probably 50 or 75 grand. I'm making well near $100,000. I'm making making 100% return almost. Low risk, no mortgage. Okay? 325 East South B Street in Gas City. $13,000, spent $55,000, fixed that up. Sold it for $134,000. Okay? Fix and flip. It's the same thing. Okay? It's the same thing that you guys do in LA County. Or whatever county you have. I drove in, I haven't come to Santa Barbara for a while, but we're staying at a Motel 6 tonight. Okay? You know, and I said, my gosh, you know, we just came back to Lake County, and we were there for a week, so we stayed at our resort, 2-bedroom, 2-bath there, right on the lake, so we did an exchange fee. And we had to come up here, and, you know, I said, okay, we're gonna be only here for 2 days. I said, I'm not gonna stay here and spend, you know, $400 or whatever it is a night, you know, and we're gonna get a studio, you know, a little, you know, 2-bedroom thing, just because, and so on. I said, no, okay, I'll, you know, bite that I have to stay at the Motel 6, okay? But it's okay, it's not bad. You're only here for a couple days that I'm going to be there. And I'm not going to be there anyways that much. I'm going to be there tonight. So, fix and flip, okay? 212 North E Street in Marion, Indiana, okay? Bought it for $4,000, sold it for $119,000, okay? Again, we spent about 45 grand fixing it up. Can you understand the numbers here? I hope you guys can. Of how we are crushing the business, and everybody else is moaning and groaning. Okay? Yes?
Are you rolling this money over to the projects, or are you paying taxes off the side?
I think taxes on it, but remember that if you're a project manager, right, you can charge yourself to work on the project. I'm the project manager. I gotta make sure the contractors show up. I gotta make sure contractors do all that. All those things I can use for deductions on my taxes legally. Okay? So there's many ways you can do things here. Okay, wholesaling. How much we pay for that one? 257. Here's Arizona. You know where Wilcox is? No. Wilcox, Arizona? No? Okay. So 25, that's in Cochise County. Cochise County. 257, 259 South Lawson Lane in Wilcox, Arizona. We own the mobile home, both of the mobile homes, plus we bought the land. The mobile homes and the land. All right? $2,000 for both of them. With the land. Okay, because you know, he does Arizona, so you know when you buy, if you drive mobile homes, whatever, you get the land. You drive on the street, you see a house, mobile home. Okay, you see, very common there, over that area. Wholesale. We sold them both for 49 grand. I didn't clean it, all I did was clean it up. Go on YouTube, you can see those videos too. Okay, how much did I pay for this one? 608 North Central, Sierra Vista, Arizona. Bought it for $4,500, sold it for $45,000. Clean up, that's all it is. This is in Tennessee, 1512 Roosevelt, Memphis, Tennessee. The auction was going on. What did I want to do for the auction? Anybody can tell me? Why did I want to go down there for that auction? To bid. Nobody.
They had no online?
No. No, it was online, but I wanted to go down there.
Talk to the owner?
No.
Because it was Memphis.
No. Huh?
Because it was Memphis.
Close reason.
See Elvis.
There you go, right.
I didn't hear it.
I want to go to Elvis tour. You're right. Okay, I want to go on the Elvis tour, and I did. It was something I wanted to do. I said, oh yeah, I'm going to go and buy the properties too, you know. And I, it was a lien, so the lien converted to a deed after this one was. Okay, I bought another one that they redeemed. But I said, okay, yeah, I can go around there. I can, you know, go to Elvis Presley's house, and I went across the street too. That they had all their, you know, all these, you know, his jumpsuits and all this other stuff. And I went through the house and went through the, you know, the museums and all this other stuff. Never did that. Okay. So, but yeah. Took a vacation, right? Vacation and work on that, you know. Okay, wholesaler, that's again $15,000, sold it for $48,000. Okay, seller financing, I do a lot of those. I have 4 of them right now with seller financing. They just pay me every single month. Okay, they own the properties, not rent to own or anything. They own it. They own it. I'm just a bank. Okay, those 2 mobile homes, they bought that cash for me. Okay, but I got other ones. Okay, some more investments. I'm going to show you this here. I'm going to show you here. And show you here. I'm going to show you the land. Okay, right there. Oh, right there. 2 vacant lots, 29,000, 29,000. We have them both in escrow to sell for 32,000. I bought them for $800 each. I didn't do nothing to them. $800 each. Yeah.
Did you sell them to builders?
I have no idea who I'm selling them to.
Okay.
No, yeah, I have no clue. I just know that I had multiple offers on the property, and I put them into escrow for both like $32,000. Okay, and I'm closing on those. I'll close those in December. Because the problem is it takes you a while. Once you get the court order, you gotta get the original signed court order, then you gotta send it over to the treasurer's office, and the treasurer's office only issues the deeds once a month.
There's no redemption time on that?
No, I already own them. It's already over with. Yeah.
Are you accumulating attorney fees?
Yeah, the attorney fees cost me $3,000 each.
So you can expect to spend off.
Yeah, in Arizona. Yeah, other states it's much lower. Indiana only costs like $800. Because they set a limit, there's a statute, so the attorneys can't charge more money.
So what, in reality, on your average house, how much does it cost in administrative fees?
For what, attorney fees?
Yeah,
Well, No, every state's different, you know, you put, so Arizona, they're gonna charge you about $3,000 for attorney fees. If you go to West Virginia, okay, the total fees they're gonna charge you with title fees is $700.
And then add on, there's other fees involved in that, right?
What is it, what other fees are there?
Well, yeah, you tell me,
No.
well, that's the question.
No, you just get, what, the deed, $20? That's it.
So attorney fees is your majority of the cost?
Yeah, unless you're gonna rehab it,
Yeah.
And are the attorney fees through escrow, or is this an attorney you use to?
No, you gotta pay the attorney up front to foreclose, you change the lien to the deed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, change the lien to the deed, okay? Okay, so those were liens, they didn't pay, and they converted into deeds. All right? So that's another one that we have there. Let's see this one here. Wait. Anybody golf here? You golf?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Fort Mojave. So there's a golf course in Fort Mojave. And the golf course, it's right down there. Okay, Los Lobos Golf Course. So the houses there are high-end houses. High-end houses, usually $800,000, $900,000, $1 million. So we bought the vacant lot. We were originally going to fix it up. We were originally going to build it. But I said, no, it kind of slowed a little bit, so I didn't want to do it. I have it in escrow right now. We're going to close at the end of the month. I'm doing seller financing for 1 year. I bought the lot for $5,000 through the tax sales. I have it in escrow for $80,000. Seller financing. Yep.
When you're selling, are you selling through a real estate
Yep.
agent?
Yep. When I'm selling it, but when I'm buying it, I'm buying it through the courts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did they not get the deed until that 1 year is up and they made their final payment?
No. They own the property.
Okay.
They'll own the property. I'm just like the bank. I'm Bank of America. Okay. So they actually own the property, and then seller financing. They pay me so much money every single month. 8% interest. Yeah. 8% interest.
So this is your exit plan, seller finance?
Yeah. That was my extra plan. Seller financing. 1 year.
That's cheap, okay.
Yeah. 1 year for that one. Okay. So those are just a few. I got more, but let's get back into this. Okay, anybody know what Fairmont, Indiana is? Fairmont, Indiana? Anybody know James Dean? Yeah? Fairmont, Indiana is the #1 city of tourists for James Dean. He was brought up there in Fairmont. People don't even know that. See, you got to know these niches. You got to know these little things to go to, okay? Because if you know where Fairmont, Indiana is, then you know your properties are going to sell like this if they're priced correctly. They're not going to sell for $300,000, $400,000, but they're going to sell for, the $150,000, $175,000, $200,000 value, because you know it's a desirable area. They got their own police department. There's only 3,000 people that live in the town. They got 2 museums of James Dean there. They got a big event that happens every summer. Okay? Car show and festival and everything for the James Dean thing. But nobody knows. Yeah.
At one point when you said you were getting tired of fixing and flipping, did your interest pick up when you were able to get these things much cheaper?
It did, but I could make more money. I could make more money less risk with wholesaling. Okay? I mean, when I did the fix and flips in out of state, see, my opinion here what I've learned now since I'm 63 years old, I'll be 64 in January. If I'm gonna fix it up, I'm gonna either buy and hold it and keep it as a rental, or I'm gonna do a rent-to-own on the property. That's really what I really like, the rent-to-own. Or I'll do the seller financing. I won't do fix and flips, period, at all. Because the buyers are a pain in the ass. Doesn't matter where you do it, they're a pain in the ass. Okay? But if they have a rent with an option to buy, they're much more workable with you. Okay?
It's a trick on the option to buy, give you a substantial down payment so they don't walk away.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing, you know, they're gonna put down a significant, that guy, he's putting 20 grand down for the seller financing. Okay, so large amount of down payment there, same thing, okay? Fairmont 911 North Cortland, that was my loser. I show that one because that one I lost a lot of money on because there was a tree growing within the house. Yeah, there was a tree right beside the house, a big, 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 huge tree. And it actually grew within the house, you know, create the foundation problems, everything. Major problem. And it was a hoarder house, and you didn't know that until you took all your junk out and you could see the whole foundation gone. You could see the tree trunk right there on that, you know? That
was a purchase before you went and looked at it.
I know, I looked at it, but I didn't pay attention on the big tree, like I should have, okay?
How often do you get inspections?
How long do we?
How often do you run inspections before purchase?
Well, there's no home inspection, it's just, you gotta drive by and look at the properties. Yeah, that's basically it on that. So, that was a mistake that I did. What's that one? 206 South 7th Street, that was, I bought like 7 or 8 houses, like, this was like a couple of years ago here. But I bought a bunch of them from one investor. You know, it cost me like $12,000 for all of them. And all I did is just go there, cut the grass, clean it up, put it back on the market, and sold it. That one you sold it. That's a 112 East South F Street, Gas City. Anybody know why I do Gas City a lot? It's near Fairmont. Near Fairmont. Okay? So they try to mimic what Fairmont does for the James Dean stuff. Okay? They have their own building official too. There. So everything is run, even a small town, it's only like about maybe 5,000 people, but they have their own building department there. So you go by that city building department. Vacant lot, 4529 Kelly Esperanza, Fort Mojave. Bought that one for $1,000, sold it for $19,000. 909 Church Street in Newcastle, Indiana. 909 Church Street in Newcastle, Indiana. Okay? Is that? We've got 6 minutes left. Desert Hot Springs, right here in California, 66078 Desert View Avenue, Desert Hot Springs. I give you the addresses because you can verify everything if you want. Anytime you go to any seminars or anything at all, if they don't give you the address, ask them for the address. A lot of times they won't provide it to you because you don't know how old the pictures is. Oh. Chipmunk Lane, that's in Fresno County, 416-89 Chipmunk Lane in Albury, California. Okay? 73640 Pacheco Square in Thousand Palms. You know the reason why I'm not buying a lot, because I'm foreclosing on 100 properties. He's got the list right there. He's got the list of all my liens in Mojave County. Okay? Foreclosing on 100 this year in Arizona. 100. I do about 6 or 7 a month. But I don't make 100 grand or 200 grand a pop. I don't. Okay? I make between 30 and 60 grand. That's really what it is, 30 to 60 grand. That's what I'm making.
How many jobs do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What's your average
30, 60.
net profit?
Yeah. About 30 to 60.
In any state?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to
Yeah.
get?
But certain states I don't like. Okay? There's certain states I don't like.
Do you find it easier to sell lots than acreage larger parcels?
Yeah, I don't know very much about acres, you know, that's away from stuff. So all my vacant lots are all near houses. That's just my knowledge I have, you know what I mean? I basically when I look at Bullhead City, and I said, okay, if lots are being listed for 30,000, and the lots are 3,500, and my lot says 7,000 lot size, and I'm gonna list at the same price, you're probably gonna buy mine, okay? Because the lot's bigger, right? You know, around the same area.
So that net profit, you're sometimes over 12%.
I'm over what?
You're almost over a 12% profit with that 36,000 target. I mean, your profit margin's up 20%.
Oh, my profit's near 100%,
You're 100%.
100 to 400%.
Yeah.
If I'm buying a lien for $800 and I'm selling it for 30, and let's say the worst case scenario, maybe I'm in $4,000 with the vacant lot, right? $4,000, that's all it is. And I'm netting 27,000. What is that?
Yeah.
A 2,000% return? Okay,
So you're yeah.
that's what it. And you guys are getting what? 5%, 7% returns. Investors, when you lend the money out to these investment groups, they're paying you what, 6%, 8%, 10% returns? Yeah. But you do it all the time.
You're retailing houses, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm wholesaling them. You know? Okay, last one here, 145 Monterey Avenue, Nidos, California. Okay, that's in California. And very quickly, give you a last story. Okay? Last story I want to have. All right? About Mike Tyson. Anybody like Mike Tyson, the boxer? Right? Right? Mike Tyson, right? Okay. Does anybody know Mike Tyson, who knocked him out?
Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas. Okay? Bingo. First person who knew that. Okay? Mike Tyson was 38-0 with 33 knockouts in his prime. Mike Tyson was. Went to this boxing match with Buster Douglas, who was a nobody. Even the commentators say, how's this happening? This guy's here fighting Mike Tyson and so on like that for the championship. How did it happen? Okay? And Buster Douglas showed up, and he was ahead in points all the time. Okay? And in the 12th round, he knocked out Mike Tyson. If you remember, you watched the boxing. Knocked him out around the 12th round. Okay? Anybody know why he won the match? The reporters went to him and asked, Buster, how did you beat Mike Tyson? Done nothing bad, but you're a nobody. Okay? How did you beat this guy?
What he said about promising his mama? Okay.
Bingo! He's the only person, you're right. That's correct. Before his mom died, about 22 days before the match, he promised his mom that he would defeat Mike Tyson and knock him out. That was his promise. That was his commitment that he was willing to do. That's why most people are not successful, because they're not committed. He was committed. 6 months later, he came into a match, he was guaranteed $15 million, and he got knocked out. Because there was no commitment. He says, oh, I'll just lay down when I get my $15 million, right? This is why people are not successful, because they're not committed. Anyways, I'm done now. If you want, okay? If you want, okay, I'm going to have my booth in the back, okay? And Tuesday night, I have a free, on Tuesday night, I have a Zoom class, okay, at 6 p.m. that we have 40 other tax sale investors there. And if you want to attend, I will invite you there for free. It's not a slide presentation, it's a training. You're actually going to see, Susan will be there, Art will be there, okay, which is in the back. We've got about 40 people, and it's an actual training. You're going to see investors all around the country, okay? And we're going to be talking about, what's going on and, exactly training. We do that every single week. And we invite you one time for free to come to our Tuesday night class to see what we are doing in our business. So if you are on my booth, I just add you on, and you can come to our Tuesday night class. So
What time is that?
6 p.m. on Tuesday.
Pacific Standard Time?
Yep, yep, okay? So if you are interested, I hope I gave you some education, and I hope I gave you some fun.
So all your classes,
Lots of great information. Thank you so much.
Yes, no problem.
Wonderful. We've got another 15-minute break. And then we're going to have Merrill Chandler up here. He's going to talk to you about credit restoration.